Channel switched.
Alright guys, are you guys ready to start playing some Dragon Age? I know I am.
Only for
User
weeks
joined
now.
your channel.
Alright, tell me about it. Alright, so you guys know where we're at, right? I've informed you guys where we're at. I'm going to make the call, and I'm going to put right here. This is where we're going to be starting. This is going to be the area of Taventer. It's close to the Brazilian Pass. It's on the edge of the Brazilian Forest, and it's in the Sauron Hills. The South Ron Hills. So that is a good place to call Taventer home. There's been some discussion on this, but this is where it's going to be, around this area here. So,
Okay.
and thanks again, everybody, for hanging out and checking out Dragon Age tonight. It's going to be fun. This is our first time playing, and we're really looking forward to it. We have been for a while, so. Alright, so you guys ready to get going?
Aye, Captain.
Ready?
Cryptid, you
Aye,
here?
aye, Captain Neckbeard.
I most certainly am.
Alright,
And
Raven's here.
magnificent neckbeard it is, as I also may say.
It is, isn't it? Man, it's all over the place tonight. I shampooed it again. Man, every time I do that, it just goes all over the place. It smells
It
good.
literally will have its own lore written about it in years to come.
Yeah.
The legend of the
Right.
neckbeard.
Alright. So, I'm going to move the map, the viewable map for everyone.
Had my character not been the gender that it is, I was actually going to consider giving it a neckbeard as well, just in honour of you.
Nice. Alright, so I have a handout popping up for everyone. As soon as I unarchive it, like a jackball. Alright, so this is the caravan that has been escorting our two mages, Bel and Aziza. The caravan has been attacked. It is on the way to Taventer, by the way, and the caravan is sort of like it's sort of on like a mission from the Chantry, from the Circle Tower. Bel and Aziza, well, Bel mainly, and Aziza is tagging along and has been assigned to Bel. They are to check on the Chantry that is in the small town of Taventer. And I will give you a little bit of information of the town of Taventer. It is a small vineyard type of town. It has its number one economy is the wine that they produce. They are very close to the coast. So they ship it through the seas, the oceans, and it is a very popular wine throughout the lands of Ferelden and also the entire landmass of Thedas. And this once a year crop is basically its only substance that the entire town has, and it has lots of vineyards for several miles outside of the actual town itself. So that's basically how Taventer thrives. I've got a small. You all have been also given a map as well of Taventer, and I'm going to assign you that as well right now. And I'm going to show you guys this. Now, as you can see, there's not really a whole lot to Taventer. There's basically a temple, a winery, the Arbor Inn. That's where our rogue has been staying. He's been acting as a guide for several months now, and this is Elephane. Elephane has been basically I don't want to say a cutthroat for hire, but basically he's just been guiding travelers throughout this part of the lands. And right now he is actually he has Alexander with him, which is he is of Kunari background, and Alexander has actually hired Elephane to guide him around. So that's the gist on that. Now, as for the caravan, which is basically, like I said, they are on their way to check on certain things with the small temple there that is involved with the chantry. It's really not known yet. Bell has not really discussed it with Aziza, but Aziza does know that it is of some importance that they do report back to the circle towers as fast as possible. So as this caravan is making its way along the road, it is attacked, and it is attacked by some sort of blight type of creature, or what it seems to be, maybe some dark spawn. And it's a long, ferocious battle. The mages are told to stay into the carts, and it doesn't go well. There are several other mages that are tagging along from the tower, and also a Templar himself. And the Templar and the other mages have been slain. So it's basically just Bell and Aziza that's left. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, as the dark spawn are closing in on our two mages, several volleys of arrows make its way towards the dark spawn and take them down. And out of the woods appear several figures, a Kernari and also a Dalish female elf. And this is where we're at. Our party is now face to face. Bell and Aziza are clinging to the carts, seeking some shelter. Their mana is quite tapped. They've been hurt. They have some damage as well. And Alexander and Elephane heard commotion and started firing because they actually saw some chantry type of figures in this caravan, and they just didn't want to stand there. So they actually got involved and helped. Unfortunately, the Templar died, and the other mages did as well. So this is where the party's at right now. And if you guys want to go ahead and discuss things, that would be okay. Because you guys really, you don't know if Alexander and Elephane are going to attack you or not. So you're still in a defensive stance. It's not like you are, friends and buddies. I mean, you guys need to role play this out.
I walk up and I go to, let's say, the Templar, and I reach down and put my hand on his neck to make sure he's alive. Just kind of doing the whole "Are you dead?" alive thing.
I'm not dead yet. No, I'm just kidding.
Who goes there? State your business.
I am Alexander. I Kunari. I hear help. I hear fight. I help.
Ooh.
I'm still in the actual back of the caravan, and I'm just keeping quiet at the moment and just assessing the situation.
I raise my hand and I go, Miss Elephane, can you deal with this? I kind of point over to the caravan.
Yeah, I'll just give a really big smile and walk up and address Aziza.
And the
I'll
sun
ask
is
him if
starting to
he's
go
okay.
down as well, so the time of day is starting to become dusk and early evening. So you are going to be running out of sunlight in probably another hour or so.
If I kind of climb out of the back of the caravan, away from where the new two individuals have approached from, if I sort of like get out of the back of it and go and just look at one of the deceased attackers, what can I ascertain as to what it is?
Well, you can actually tell that one is a Canary, and also one is
No,
a
the
Dalish
actual,
elf.
the attackers, the ones
Okay.
that actually attacked us.
That is a very good question. The attackers, they actually had claws and they were biting. But now that several are dead throughout the carnage here, they are actually Dalish elves. And these are not the foes that you were fighting. And you know for a fact that you were fighting some type of blight or darkspawn creature. But now you are literally looking at normal Dalish elves, and they have slashes and bites on them just as you do.
Would I know from my knowledge gleaned from my time in the tower and my extensive study of history and all kinds of lore as to whether this is commonplace, or would I know anything about this kind of thing happening before, maybe?
You have never seen anything like this personally, but you have read that there possibly could be some kind of polymorphing process that takes place from blight back to a human type of form. Well, a humanoid type of form. But yes, you've never seen this personally, but you do know of it. I will give you that, because you have studied quite a bit in the tower, seeing that you are locked up in it most of the time.
Yeah. And would I know how this particular affliction is passed to, say, for example, how they may have actually got this particular affliction?
Could be magic. You know that there's several different ways. You know it's either magic or an actual wound itself. And therefore, you're thinking maybe this is going to happen to you as well. Because you have been wounded in this battle.
I'm going to quickly check myself over. Do any of my wounds look deep, or do they all look extremely superficial?
No, they're mainly light slashes, sort of like claw marks. But you have no deep wounds or anything like that. You don't see any kind of infection setting in. So you actually feel quite confident, both you and Aziza. You just have light scratches, but you don't think you're in any threat. Not at this moment in time. I mean, things could change later. You're just going to have to weather out the storm and wait it out. And you know this. Only time will tell.
I'm going to warily look over towards the Canary. I believe is the Canary still leaning over the Templar that's down and basically at death's door, or already dead?
I'm kind of
the Canary's kind of he's there. But go ahead and describe yourself, Mr. Canary, Mr. Alexander.
I'm 7'2". I have gray hair, no horns, gray eyes. I have a tattoo of a black widow. No, okay, I messed that up. I have a tattoo of a tarantula on the lower left side of my face. Over my right eye, I have a black widow spider, and anything from neck down is one solid.
Crow's a little nervous, guys.
Besides my left arm, of a spider's web that kind of looks.
He'll
like
be
it's
fine
on
though.
fire.
He'll be fine.
Would I know from my, and I'll do a roll if you need me to, from my extensive research, whether it is usual or unusual for a Canary to actually be hornless?
You know that they're actually quite rare, and you know that they do hold a place of prestige among their race when they have no horns.
Would it actually denote anything in particular about this particular Canary, or does it not really denote it, apart from obviously the prestige he's held in? Would I know anything further beyond that about him? Obviously I want to know as much as possible before even attempting to approach.
Yeah, you don't have that much contact. Actually, you've never had contact with a Canary. This is just from your teachings and your readings. The only thing that you do know is they are pretty rare when they don't have horns, and they are renowned within their race. That's about all you're going to know, because you haven't actually visually or physically met one yet. But now you have.
I'm going to kind of just sort of stay where I am for the moment and just keep a lookout. And if I look around the area from where both the two people that assisted us came from, as well as where the actual attack came from, do I spot any other Dalish elves or darkspawn or anything else, any other creatures around?
No, this fight has gone on probably for about an hour, and just as the Templar died, and you know, towards the end of the battle is when the mages were out of magic, and the Templar was just being overwhelmed. That is when the Canary and the Dalish Elf just basically came out of nowhere and basically saved the day. So several Darkspawn did make some noises, and they did run off. You'll hear some screams off in the distance, but it seems like every time you do hear some type of screams or screeches, it seems like they're getting farther away each time that you can actually hear any kind of vocalization. So for now, it seems like you're going to be fine.
And if I can allow myself to like internally feel, do I feel like how tapped out with sort of like my magic ability would I be? I mean, would I be able to maybe engage in another battle should one actually come
Absolutely,
about?
Because you didn't you and Aziza had not joined the battle until about 3/4 of the way through, so your life and mana are only down about 25%. So this is speaking out of character here. You guys can make a mental note, and then whenever we get to an actual physical map to where we have tokens, just remember that you guys are down 25% health and 25% mana, and that's just speaking out of character.
Okay. I'm going to actually turn and speaking to Aziza. Now, when I speak, first of all, it's actually a female voice, and my voice is not what you would consider commonplace in Ferelden. It's actually kind of what you would consider like, to give like a real world example, like there's a slight French sort of lilt to it because of where I'm originally from.
You kind of have a manly voice, if you want to ask me, for a female character.
And let's not go there. I am not going to do that female voice, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Oh, damn it. I was going to give you bonus XP as well, man.
That's
to roleplay it out.
Sunday. No, it's only on a Sunday.
All right,
okay?
then we're going to be switching this game to Sunday then.
I turn to Aziza, and I say, Aziza, come here for a moment.
We have some strangers. We must take care of these people.
Check everybody to make sure that if any of them are still alive.
So how many Dalish elves are actually scattered around the ground here?
There are actually 3. And from what you...
3?
Yeah, and you had actually seen, as you were firing volleys into the actual caravan area, you saw about 4 or 5 other creatures sort of run off. And it seemed like sometimes they were running on their hind legs, and sometimes they were running on all fours. So it was definitely a creature that you haven't encountered before.
In which direction
Neither
did they
the
run
Canary
off in?
either. They actually scattered in all directions. There wasn't any set direction where they all just shot to. It seems like they were all just, frightful for their lives.
I walk over to Elephane and I kind of go, you know what's going on here?
Like, totally. Do you know what's going on
I
here?
do not know. It's just judging from the scene here, they were ambushed and somehow they transformed when they died.
Interesting.
And I'd also like to add that, especially seeing that you've been here for several months now, Elephane, you haven't actually seen anything like this. You haven't even heard of anything like this happening in this area.
But I don't advise we stay here very much longer. They can always come back with more.
I turn
just
to
kidding.
2 mages and go, it's time to leave, boys. And don't-
Boys!
I just trying to say that.
I love it. It's time to leave, boys.
And I'll tell these. Well, thank you for saving us. But where did you all come from?
We came from the north.
It's actually
about boys. I just kind of like roll my eyes a little and
strange
Well,
company
shit,
that a
man.
Canary and a Dalish elf is
Just
kind of
so-
hanging together as well, wouldn't you think? Actually, both the mages. It seems rather weird that a Dalish elf and a Kunari is keeping company with one another. That is definitely a red flag to both of you.
I mean, we were just attacked by a group of creatures with claws and fangs that suddenly turned into Dalish elves. And believe me, this day cannot get any weirder.
That would be quite weird.
So I've been assigned to Bell. I'm like a servant.
No, you're not a
Like-
servant.
no,
You're just
you're an
on.
assistant.
Yeah, you're an assistant. You're just helping out. You're making sure that he gets there, basically.
I'm gonna go check the Dalish elves before we leave here.
I'm gonna check the caravans to see if there's anything we can plunder. But I'm gonna do it sneakily.
I'll be
I'm-
gathering up our supplies that
Do
we
I
might
see-
have lost, or the tools and our gear that we might need off the wagons.
Ulterior modem.
do
Thank
I
you very
see the
much for the
Canary
follow.
attempting
I
to
really
actually,
appreciate it.
Sneakily plunder.
I would giggle if I saw that one.
Well, seeing that all of the horses, there's actually the horses have broken away from all of the wagons and carts on the caravan, which you can only see 2 carts here, 3 carts, but there were 4 carts, and there was another cart to the south. But all of the horses have actually broken free, so there are no horses, and there was quite a bit of supplies on the 3rd and the 4th cart, but they actually have caught fire, and basically the carts are just smoldering now, and everything that was on the cart was destroyed. And basically, the first and the second covered, first and second carts were actually covered, but through the battle, you know, these creatures actually jumped through the cloth canopies to get to the travelers inside. Plus, the Templar was pretty much leading this expedition, and he was driving the first cart. But there is no survivors. You've checked everyone. They are all dead. You find nothing that is salvageable except for your personal items, and that is where you're at. And you have 4
David,
smoldering carts along the makeshift road, makeshift
David,
trail. Mhm.
Out of game, somebody in chat just said they're having problems hearing the players.
Interesting. I've got you guys turned up all the way, so
Could it be my microphone being crappy again?
I'll turn TeamSpeak up. I can do that. So
Well, I didn't have my mic extended all the way. How is it now?
Better?
Sound check. How do we sound now, guys? Does that sound any better to chat?
well, they should be able to hear you. I mean, it's everything is turned up all the way. So I don't know what else to do to turn it up there. I can't turn it up anymore. Actually, I mean I can turn
I mean, Evan
TeamSpeak
says
up.
it's better anyway. Sorry for interrupting games. I just wanted to make sure
It's no problem. I turned TeamSpeak up the rest of the way, but other than that, I can't do anything else with it. So
Okay, so sorry, getting back into the thing. So if I look around, approximately how many elven bodies do I see, and how many of my previous traveling companions do I see?
you see 3 bodies that actually were other creatures at one time, and within the last 15 minutes that you guys have been conversing with one another, they have basically morphed back into Dalish elves.
Okay, I can sigh and kind of say under my breath, by the Maker, so much death. And then I turn around to Aziza and very quietly say, we really need to give these poor souls last rites so they can pass on. Would you please do the honors?
Do you think we have time, sir? Or madam?
I think for these poor souls we need to make
Sir, I love it.
Yeah, I went and got the gear off the carts, and I handed Bell the pack. And I said, do you think we can trust these 2 new travelers?
This is hopefully out of the earshot of the other 2 members, or
Oh, you're never
two
out of earshot of
newcomers?
me.
I kind of say in a hushed tone, I don't trust anybody yet, but if they can get us somewhere to safety, it's worth just keep a very close eye on them, because I certainly will be as well.
Ooh, tension. I can feel my Jedi senses tell me there's tension already in the party. I love it.
As seeing that the carts are on fire, I'll pick up the Templar that is in the front. When he's dead, I'll pick him up and walk him into the back and place him where all the other dead bodies are.
Okay. Bring out your dead.
I am walking to all the Daily Shells and gives them a silent Elvish prayer.
Can we hear that?
It's silent, so no.
I
Okay,
kind of do a...
Do you actually search the Templar as well, or?
The Templar, generally, he would have generally a sword and a shield, correct?
He does have a crude sword. He was a low-ranking Templar, so he wasn't in any kind of exquisite gear or anything.
Would he have something identifying on him?
What
like
do you mean
a
by?
pendant or something?
He has several. I mean, he has several chantry items. Yeah, he has a small coin purse as well, and it has about 6 silver in it.
Cha-ching.
I don't take the gold, but does he have like a cape or something on?
No, he doesn't. It's been ripped.
Okay, never mind.
May
Yeah.
your souls pass into the afterlife.
He's in pretty bad shape, man. He definitely took the he hung in like a champion though, and he actually fell. He fell a couple of the beasts,
He fought
but
like
in
a
the
boss.
end, he was overcome. He was
I
just
saw-
outnumbered.
I slowly and sorrowfully say some of the chant of light in order to allow them to pass through and safely into the fate and to pass on, which I actually can do if
Mahabone.
you want, because I do know it.
Mahabone. Rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub. Something like that, right?
No, it's though all before me is shadow, shall the maker be my guide, I shall not be left to wander the drifting
Nerd
roads
alert!
beyond,
Nerd
and all
alert!
that kind of stuff.
Nerd alert, nerd alert.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna walk
It's all
up
good,
to the
dude.
two
It's great.
elves
I
over
love it.
there and inform them that we need to leave.
You
If
do
they're
know
coming
that
with us at all.
about 2 miles away, you do know that there is a farm that you have actually stayed at, Elephane. It is called the Fuldor Farm, and there are several families that live there, and they could probably offer you shelter until the morning to when you can actually get these folks and yourselves to Ventiver, if that is where you are going. Because I'm sure the mages have probably... Have you actually said that you are going to... Well, actually, no, I didn't hear that, so... All that you know is that there's a farm about 2 miles away, and it is called the Fuldor Farm. And they are a very hospitable family. And it's actually several families that make up one large family that live on this farm.
I turn and look at the female elf, whose name I actually don't know, and I just quite quietly say, "Thank you for your assistance. May I ask where we're heading to?"
I pretty much lead this big oaf over here around, so it's wherever he's going that I go.
Big oaf! The big oaf, nice.
We are heading to
But I will assist you to a safe place to sleep for the night.
As you
Indeed.
are talking, you start to hear screeches and screams starting to get a little bit closer.
I turn my head and go, "We leave now."
And it sounds like a lot more than what was currently here before.
I say we're actually wanting to head towards a village called Vintiva. Unfortunately, due to the attack, we've been turned around, and I'm not exactly sure which direction that is in. Would you happen to have any local knowledge and be able to point us in the correct direction, or maybe even guide us there, please?
I do have knowledge of this area, but for now we just need to get someplace safe.
Certainly. Then I put myself and my assistants